Hello and welcome to the Sports on Pulse with me, Rico Wampov, when midweek football action has resumed as match day 3 of the Champions League is set to kick off in the next few hours. But our focus for today would be on the Manchester City versus Atlanta game, and then later the Real Madrid versus Galatasaray one. And we start off from the one which would be at the Etihad, as Pep Guardiola's men do look for their third win in their group stages, a win that would put them in a good place for early qualification in the Champions League.
Manchester City continuing their quest to be crowned champions of Europe for the first time as they prepare to face Champions League debutants Atalanta. City started their campaign with a 3-0 win at Shakhtar Donetsk before beating Dinamo Zagreb 2-0 on home soil, despite many proclaiming them as favourites to land the title. Manager Pep Guardiola has urged his team to improve.
Your team is scoring goals.
We are able to score goals because in last seasons we scored goals, but a lot of goals. What I'm saying is in this competition has to be strong in the boxes, and in this season we are not incredibly strong in the boxes, and that's why we have to improve. But of course we have time. Tomorrow we have this chance to improve, and if we are able to, we need 6 more points to qualify. We need 2 more games. Tomorrow is an incredible step forward against a team. Like, I was really impressed last night and this morning when I saw it more in a accuracy way. How important it is, and after we will see how in February we are in later stages we are able to go through.
Defensive frailties has plagued the start to their title defence domestically, while some pundits have even pointed fingers at the usual white-hot attack. Their boss, though, feels his frontmen have been clinical.
They have a lot of confidence, so sometimes it happens. And I said many times, last season against Chelsea arrived 6 times 6 goals, or 6 shoots in target, we scored 4 goals. A few weeks ago against Watford, 5 times 5 goals, so it's happened. In our situation, they have a lot of chances, we don't score. And I think in Champions League, the teams don't have 20 chances. In that moment, we are able to do that, so okay, we have chance. If not, we don't have chance. The players know it. We spoke many times about that. So we have to play good to create more chances, to concede few. And after that, you have to be solid at front. You cannot give the goals we gave in this season. And when we are in front in the goals, in the situation you have 1 against 1 or 2 against 1 against the keeper in the 6-yard box, in the penalty spot, you have to score a goal. If not, it's more difficult. You know, this competition in the top teams against top level. So it's what.
That was Pep Guardiola and Manchester City as they continued their pursuit for what would be their first ever Champions League trophy. But of course, that's not the only game that would be played tonight, as the headline one usually shouldn't be a headline fixture between Galatasaray and Real Madrid, but due to the situation of this season's Champions League, it's a crucial one for Los Blancos because they currently sit bottom in Group A and Galatasaray sit 3rd in Group A. So both sides are without a winner. Real Madrid are going away in Turkey, and they know that anything but a win would put the Champions League qualification in big danger. And that would be our headline for tonight's commentary on Joy 99.7. You can join us at 7 p.m. But let's look into the game, and joining me in the studio, I'm in the company of Bill Ishon, and he's of Joy Sports team. Bill, let's take a look at this Real Madrid-Galatasaray game. And Real Madrid's season have been weird. Up until last weekend, they hadn't lost a game in La Liga. And the Champions League, it's been a different tale so far for Zidane. Where do you think has gone wrong for Zidane in Champions League?
Well, injuries have played a very big part in what's going on so far. And there's been injuries to some key players like Toni Kroos, like Luka Modric, Hazard even got an injury at some point. Bale is unfit, Lucas Vazquez is also out. So that mix of a lot of players on the treatment table do cause some problems to the team, and it hasn't helped Zidane at all. And that really showed during last weekend against Mallorca. He had to play with a very deeply makeshift side, and that caused them a loss on the day.
Okay, so back to this match in particular. I mean, the season prior to this hasn't been so good, or has been good, or has been mixed feeling so far. Madrid go to Turkey against Galatasaray. Judging from what happened in match J2 against Club Brugge, you do know that they cannot underestimate this side. Where do you see this one going for Real Madrid, and how do you think they can come out of this with all 3 points?
Well, you know, it's a very curious situation because because Galatasaray themselves haven't scored a goal yet in the Champions League. So it's a very dicey situation. They haven't found a let. Real Madrid are struggling to get a win, but they do have the firepower, of course. They can get some goals. The only problem here is Zidane setting up his side very well. He has to have Hazard coming into the party and other players that he has on his disposal. He has to select them well, and they have to play very well to get the result. And of course, in the last match against Galatasaray, they did do very well. That was way back in 2014, but then again, they had Ronaldo in the side. They do not have him anymore. So they have to find a way with Benzema, with Hazard, and the likes.
Yeah, so certainly no Cristiano Ronaldo and no Gareth Bale because he has a knee injury. But quickly, prediction for tonight's game.
I think I'll go for a 2-1 win for Real Madrid.
Okay, Bill thinks that it would be a 2-1 win for Zinedine Zidane as he travels to face Galatasaray. Don't forget that you can get live commentary of the game on Joy 99.7 as the game kicks off at 7 p.m. But this is all the time with the last for here on the Sports on Pulse. My name is Oreku Ampofo, and Gifty is here to continue the news.